What if I told you that the small, scraggly bush sitting in your neighbor's backyard is quietly producing more food than a full-grown apple tree? No, seriously. We've told our whole lives that bigger is better. Plant a tree, wait 10 years, and eventually you'll have fruit. But what if that whole idea is completely backwards? Here's the truth that backyard growers are finally waking up to. Some of the most productive, most resilient, and most nutritious food plants in the world are not trees. They're bushes. Small, manageable, fast-growing bushes that can start producing fruit in just 1 to 2 years and keep going for decades. Today, I'm going to walk you through 7 incredible bushes that could completely transform your backyard into a food-producing powerhouse. And trust me, by the end of this video, you're going to want to start digging holes in your yard today. So if you're new here, welcome. Hit that subscribe button right now because we talk about real, practical ways to grow more food with less space and less money. Let's get into it. Before we dive in, let me ask you something. Drop this in the comments right now. Do you currently grow any food in your backyard? Yes or no? I read every single comment, and I'd love to know where you're starting from. Okay, here's why bushes beat trees in most backyard situations. Fruit trees are amazing, don't get me wrong. But they take 5 to 10 years to produce a meaningful harvest. They need pruning, grafting, and sometimes a second tree for pollination. And they take up a lot of space. Fruit bushes? Most of them start producing within 1 to 3 years. They're compact. Many of them don't even need a second plant. They thrive in poor soil, they handle cold snaps better. And pound for pound, they produce just as much, sometimes way more, fruit than trees. Sound too good to be true? Let me prove it to you with these 7 plants. Let's start with one that most people walk right past at the garden store without a second look. The Goji berry. Now, you've probably seen goji berries in health food stores, sold in little plastic bags for like $12. They're called superfoods. They're in smoothie mixes, energy bars, and fancy teas. But here's what nobody tells you. You can grow them yourself, right in your backyard, and harvest pounds of them every single season. The goji berry bush, also known as Lycium barbarum, is an absolute beast of a plant. Once it's established, a single bush can produce anywhere from 5 to 8 pounds of berries per season. And it keeps producing for up to 50 years. 50 years! Your apple tree won't even be hitting its stride by then. Goji berries thrive in USDA zones 3 through 10, which means whether you're in Minnesota dealing with brutal winters or in Texas baking in summer heat, this plant can handle it. It actually does better in dry, slightly poor soil. So if you've got a tough spot in your yard where nothing seems to grow, that's your goji berry spot. Here's what makes it even better for beginners. Goji berry bushes are self-pollinating. You only need one plant to get fruit. No complicated pairing required. The berries are bright red-orange, slightly sweet, slightly tangy, and absolutely loaded with antioxidants, vitamin C, and iron. You can eat them fresh right off the bush, dry them, or blend them into smoothies. One pro tip: give your goji berry bush some support, a trellis or a fence to lean on, and you'll see significantly better harvests. It's a vining shrub, so it loves to sprawl. Have you ever tried goji berries before? Let me know in the comments. Okay, plant number 2 is one that I am absolutely obsessed with, and I think it's criminally underrated. It's called the honeyberry, and if you haven't heard of it, you're about to become a huge fan. The honeyberry, I also called Haskop, looks kind of like an elongated blueberry. The flavor? Imagine a blueberry crossed with a raspberry with just a hint of cherry. It's absolutely unique, and honestly, it's better than a blueberry. But here's the most impressive thing about honeyberries. They are the earliest fruiting bush you can grow. We're talking fruit in May. While everyone else is still waiting for their garden to wake up, you're out there picking honeyberries. And cold hardiness? This plant is a champion. Honeyberries can survive temperatures down to minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit. You heard that right? -40. They were originally developed in Siberia and Japan, which tells you everything you need to know about how tough they are. For most people in the US, they do extremely well in zones 3 through 8. They do need cross-pollination though, so you'll want to plant at least 2 varieties side by side. But once you've got a pair going, they produce reliably every single year for 30 to 40 years. One mature honeyberry bush can produce 10 to 15 pounds of fruit per season. That's extraordinary for such a compact plant. Most bushes only reach about 5 feet tall. The berries are incredible fresh, but they also make some of the best jam you've ever tasted. The deep purple color is stunning, and the antioxidant content is off the charts. If you could only grow one berry bush this year, would you go for taste or cold hardiness? Tell me in the comments. Alright, plant number 3 might surprise you because it sounds fancy, but it is one of the toughest, most low-maintenance food plants you can grow anywhere in North America. The Nanking cherry. This bush grows 6 to 10 feet tall, produces an absolutely stunning display of white and pink flowers in the spring, and then, just a few months later, it's covered in bright red cherries. We're talking hundreds and hundreds of cherries on a single bush. Now, are Nanking cherries exactly like the sweet Bing cherries you buy at the store? No, they're smaller and they have a slightly tart flavor, more like a sour cherry. But that tartness is actually what makes them incredible for cooking. Nanking cherry jam, Nanking cherry syrup, Nanking cherry wine. These are some of the most flavorful things you'll ever put in your mouth. And the productivity is insane. One mature Nanking cherry bush can produce 10 to 20 pounds of cherries per season. Compare that to a cherry tree, which takes 7 to 10 years to get to that kind of output. Nanking cherries grow in zones 2 through 6, which makes them one of the best choices for northern growers who struggle with cold winters. They're drought-tolerant, pest-resistant, and they actually prefer to be planted in pairs for cross-pollination, though they'll still produce some fruit on their own. Birds absolutely love Nanking cherries, which can be a good thing or a bad thing depending on how you look at it. Pro tip: throw a net over your bush right before harvest season, or you'll be sharing your entire crop with a local bird population. Do you grow any cherries in your yard right now? Drop your experience in the comments, and hey, hit that like button right now. Thank you. Now we're getting into something a little different, because plant number 4 isn't a berry, it's a nut. And it might be the single most valuable food plant you can add to a small backyard. I'm talking about the hazelnut, grown in its bush form. Most people picture hazelnut trees when they think of hazelnuts, tall, spreading, orchard-style trees. But there are varieties specifically bred to stay compact and bushy, perfect for small yards and even large containers. We're talking plants that stay in the 6 to 12 foot range. Here's why hazelnuts are absolutely worth growing. First, the yield. A mature hazelnut bush can produce 10 to 25 pounds of nuts per season. Hazelnuts, also known as filberts, are one of the highest calorie crops you can grow per square foot. We're talking real substantial food, not just a garnish or a snack, a genuine food source. Second, the fat and protein content. Hazelnuts are loaded with healthy fats, protein, fiber, vitamin E, and magnesium. They're the nut inside Nutella. They're the base of dozens of traditional cuisines around the world. And they store beautifully. Properly dried hazelnuts can last months without refrigeration. Third, and this is the one that really gets me, hazelnuts are incredibly adaptable. They grow well in zones 3 through 9. They can handle poor soil, clay, even slightly rocky ground. They don't need much water once established. And they live for decades, with production improving every year. You do need at least 2 varieties for cross-pollination, so plan to plant a pair. But once you've got them going, you'll be harvesting nuts in as little as 3 to 4 years, versus 10 to 15 years for a traditional hazelnut tree. Berries or nuts? Let me know in the comments. Okay, we couldn't do this list without talking about the king of backyard berry bushes. Plant number 5 is the blueberry. Now, I know what you're thinking. I already know about blueberries. But I promise, most people are not growing them to their full potential, and most people don't know which variety to choose, which is the single most common mistake I see. Let's break it down. There are 4 main types of blueberries: high bush, low bush, rabbit eye, and half high. The right one for you depends entirely on where you live. High bush blueberries are the ones you see at the grocery store. Large, plump, and sweet. They thrive in zones 4 through 7. Low-bush blueberries are the wild-style variety. Smaller berries intensely flavor, and super cold-hardy down to zone 3. Rabbit-eye blueberries are for the south, zones 7 through 9. They handle heat and drought better than any other variety. And half-high varieties are the compromise. Compact plants, cold hardiness down to zone 3 or 4. Decent fruit size. Perfect for smaller yards or containers. No matter which type you choose, blueberries do have one non-negotiable requirement. They need acidic soil. We're talking a pH of 4.5 to 5.5. If your soil isn't acidic enough, your blueberry plants will struggle no matter what you do. This is the #1 reason people fail with blueberries. The fix is simple. Amend your soil with peat moss or sulfur before planting. Test your pH with a cheap soil tester, and use acid-specific fertilizer every spring. Do that, and your blueberry bushes will reward you for 20 to 30 years with one of the healthiest, most delicious fruits on the planet. Questions? Drop them in the comments. Plant number 6 is one that most people have never even heard of. And honestly, that's a crime. Because the Jostaberry might be the most underappreciated food plant in existence. The Jostaberry is a hybrid, a cross between a black currant and a gooseberry, and it inherited the best qualities of both parents. From the black currant side, it got that rich, deep flavor. From the gooseberry side, it got size-ish. Jostaberries are significantly larger, closer to the size of a small grape. And then it got something extra on disease resistance. Jostaberries are naturally resistant to most of the common fungal diseases and pests that plague currants and gooseberries. That means less spraying, less babysitting, and more harvesting. A mature Jostaberry bush grows 5 to 6 feet tall and wide, and it produces absolutely massive clusters of dark purple-black berries. One bush can yield 8 to 12 pounds of fruit per season. The berries are incredible eaten fresh when fully ripe, but they're especially legendary for making jam, jelly, juice, and wine. Jostaberries are self-fertile, so you only need one plant. Thriving in zones 3 through 8. Raise your hand if this is new to you in the comments. And finally, plant number 7. Actually, I'm giving you 2 for the price of one here because red currants and black currants deserve to be talked about together. They're related, they grow similarly, but they taste completely different and serve completely different purposes. Let's start with red currants. Red currant bushes are absolutely beautiful. Clusters of bright, jewel-like red berries hanging like tiny grapes all along the branches. One established red currant bush can produce 8 to 12 pounds of fruit per season, year after year. They're tart, almost sour, fresh off the bush, but that tartness transforms into something magical when you cook them. Red currant jelly is legendary in European cooking, traditionally served with lamb and venison. Now, black currants are a completely different experience. They have a much stronger, darker, more complex flavor. They're nutritional powerhouses. Black currants have more vitamin C per ounce than any other common fruit, more than oranges, more than strawberries. It's not even close. Black currant juice and syrup is wildly popular worldwide. It's also the base for cassis. Both red and black currants are cold hardy to zone 3. Both are self-fertile. Both start producing in their 2nd or 3rd year. Check local regulations before planting. Which one are you excited to try? Drop the name below. So there you have it. 7 incredible bushes that can completely transform your backyard into a productive, beautiful food-growing paradise. Let's do a quick recap. Goji berry, honeyberry, Nanking cherry, hazelnut, bushform, blueberry, jostaberry, and currants. The beautiful thing about all of these plants is that they work together. You could plant a mix of several of these in a relatively small space and have something producing from May all the way through October. That's a season-long harvest from plants that basically take care of themselves once they're established. If this video gave you one new idea, one plant you want to try this year, I've done my job. Now here's what I want you to do right now. 1. Drop your most exciting plant from this list in the comments. 2. Subscribe. 3. Share this video with one person who has a backyard. Thanks for watching. and I'll see you in the next one.